Hey guys, welcome back to the series Cracking the Coding Interview, where we go through this book and solve all 189 questions. Okay, today we're going to start with the first question. It's chapter 1.1. It's called is unique. Okay, it's just implement the algorithm to determine if a string has all unique characters, and it gives you some kind of clause. What if you cannot use additional data structures? Okay, so we're first going to implement it using the hints, using a hash table. Then we're going to try a bit vector. I'm going to play around with it and try a few things. So feel free to pause the video just to read what the question is asking. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, is unique. Number one. Okay, so first I'd like to create my driver code. Okay, I know I'm gonna need some kind of string to test. Okay, so I'm just gonna create a string A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. We know this is obviously unique because no letters repeat in here. Okay, then next I'm gonna call my functions. So let me go ahead and create the function and say definition is unique. Okay, it takes in a string. For now I'm gonna pass, meaning just don't do shit. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and call them. So I'm gonna print is unique of S. Right now it's poor programming practice because I'm using the same variable in the global scope as in the function. It's called a shadow variable, and some Python IDEs would kind of give you a warning about it. However, it doesn't cause your code to fail. Python does allow this to work, but again, it's advised to use different variable names in different scopes of a function. But anyways, like we said, we're going to use a dictionary first. Okay, so I'm going to create a dictionary called character count just to keep track of each character. Okay, empty dictionary. So now I'm going to populate him. I'm going to say for character in S. Okay, I'm just going to loop through S. For now I'm going to print just to show you what this does for those of us who might be beginners. Okay, print all the characters in S. Yeah, ignore this none for now. The reason for this none is because the print is a function and it returns an object of none. So just the fact that I'm returning none here and then printing my return of this function, that's why this none is here, just because of this print statement. So just ignore it for now. Or to remove it, I can say something like return. So this shouldn't have the none anymore. It should just return the last character because it returned out of the function. But anyways, let's go back to the job. Okay, so now I want to populate my dictionary. So I'm just going to say if character, or at least I want to execute my code, and if this character already exists in here, okay, if this character exists in here, I'm going to return false. Okay, however, if he doesn't exist in the dictionary, what I want to do, I want to add him in there. Okay, again, we're gonna go through the code so you see what's actually going on. Okay, so all it's saying is if this character exists in this dictionary, return false. Else, if it does, once you're done with this, add him in there. You see, so if you keep adding him and then you keep checking, once you add him in there, it shows there's a repeating character. So once you're done with the for loop, you're done iterating through the string and checking every character. If nothing returns, return true, because at this point it's so let's run it just to see. Okay, it returns true because there's nothing repeating here. However, I'm going to repeat a character and add an A in the back. So now it should give us false if we wrote this code correctly. Boom. Yep, that's right, it gives us false. So again, as always, I'm just going to go ahead and make this full screen. As always, we like to visualize our code. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and visualize this. I'm also going to take this up to 150. Okay, so let's make sure we're up to about 150 good. I'm going to copy this guy so we can kind of step through it. Okay, let's go. Okay, this is just to visualize our code, so I'm going to run. Okay, so now we declare the function in the global scope. We define S. Okay, so next we're going to call our function. We've called our function, so this is the local scope of the function. This is global scope of the whole code. Okay, next we want to initialize an empty dictionary. boom, character count is an empty dictionary. Then after that, what do we want to do? We want to loop through every character in S. Okay, so we're gonna see car, the variable is gonna keep updating. So as we loop, okay, A appears once, B appears once because we keep adding him to the character dictionary. As we loop, see car, we're at B. The next we're at C, we're gonna add C to the dictionary. Boom. So we're gonna keep doing it till we get to the second A. So at this point in time, it's got to H. So now character is A. Now it's gonna check to see if A is in character count, and obviously he's here. So once it checks and he's in there, we want to return false. So it's gonna return false. Boom. Works like a charm. So that is one way to do this. However, there's multiple other ways to create this function. I'm gonna create a function. Again, I'm gonna try now. I'm gonna try using a set, which is a different type of data structure. Well, actually, how about I try not using any kind of data structure? So I'm gonna create a is unique to S. Okay. I'm also gonna go ahead and call 2 instead of 1. Okay. Let's make sure it's unique. Okay. So now I don't want to use any kind of data structure. So now I'm just going to use a for loop and iterate through my string S. Okay, so I'm going to say for I, which is now we're doing index iteration, in range length of S. Again, this is just going to iterate up to how many characters there is in S. In this case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So again, let's just make sure it works. Let's print I. So it should iterate 8 times. I should get up to 0 to 7. Boom. That's 8, 0 to 7 the indices. Okay, good. So now, once we do this, if S of I, okay, we're going through the letters in S of, so this is called string slicing, I believe, I plus 1 and everything else. Okay, all this is saying is if S of I, okay, say we are the first guy, S of 0 is A. If A is in everything else, because we're saying S of I plus 1, so this is 0, 0 plus 1 is B, everything else. Okay, if S is in everything else, and then when I is 1, it's doing everything else. When I is 2, everything else. When I is 3, everything else. So that's what's done. So if it exists, return false. Okay. However, if you traverse through this for loop completely, go ahead and return true, meaning it doesn't exist. So in this case, it should give us a true. In this example, true, because we're calling unique 2. However, if we make it, let me put the A somewhere else. If we make it like this, it should give us a false. Boom. So we wrote this function a second way. So that's it for the video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.